It's Wednesday on Yourview. Welcome to the show. I am Obiajulo Olabisi Ubu, and with me are the amazing ladies. How are you doing, Miriam?
I'm doing amazing. I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here. Nice to see you, Dami.
Nice to see you too.
Nothing for banter, but just nice to see you, ladies.
Okay, nice to see you.
Okay.
Ramatu, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Tomorrow is my birthday.
Independence children.
Yes. Actually, people born in October, they're the best.
Oh,
No, BC, leave me alone.
oh,
They're the best.
Let's allow you.
We can
on
debate
earth.
that.
Yes,
Okay.
they're the best
It's your
people on
time.
earth. And
Okay.
also, I'm just going to...
What are their qualities?
Usually, I don't... Qualities, their qualities. They are
They're
very
nice.
nice.
Yeah.
They are charming.
Yeah.
And they are very considerate.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I like that. They're compassionate too.
they are compassionate. Thank you. So my plan is, I don't usually wait for the beginning of the year before I write out my resolution. Usually, it's on my birthday. I write out what I need to change, my goals.
That's
what I
your
need
new
to
year.
aspire.
That's your own New Year.
Yes,
Yeah.
so that's what I do. So
Okay.
that's all I'm going to do. And then I'm
Any
going to take
cake?
myself out.
Aha.
Yourself?
Yes, I'll
By
take
yourself?
By myself.
You yourself and I.
Yes, it's my birthday.
What happens with the crowd?
No, they are not around now.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And of course, hobby will be
Take
our
us now.
No, you people should stay in one place. Let me go and enjoy myself. Only me.
And they say they are kind and considerate.
Yeah.
Personal kindness.
Jam, how you doing?
It's a good day to be here again to join the delectable ladies of Yourview. English, we knowing that we're from the other yard, we just need to stretch neck to this compound sometimes. But all the same, it's good. Independence yesterday, for me, I do not feel that we've gotten any independence, but we are the independent people because we provide our security, we provide our electricity, we provide basic things that we need that makes us independent as humans. So aside from that, I'm hoping that I'm December born. My birthday is coming in 2 months. Let me postulate ahead.
Yeah.
So I know that, and I've just when I was in the makeup room, somebody called and was asking for a date as an event MC, event host, and was asking, it gives you joy.
I heard them say, are you available,
Are you available on this day? I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? What's my work? I don't get a work.
I'm available.
I'm available. It's the video that is not available.
Yeah,
I
so
am
you're
available for your dates.
Yes,
How you too?
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
We're still doing
Ravishing.
sales. Yes, so
Okay.
shop, skincare, slashed, clothes, slashed, hair, slashed. We're doing sales. Please walk into the shop. We have a physical shop. Go and purchase. You can send us a DM to buy what we're selling. I've been reluctant to send my accountant the books for last month because the books were practically empty. So he's been, madam, we have not done the checks for... I said, I'll send it. Hopefully, I've just sent it today because there's nothing written in the book, basically, and there are bills, that had to be paid and everything. So business has really, really been slow. A lot of us are just, a lot of us are just struggling. So it doesn't look like you gave up, Normally, the best thing would have just been to pack up your shop and say, okay, I'm not doing again. But we'll still keep pushing and keep pushing. So please, we're doing sales. The sales will be ending tomorrow. Whatever you want to buy, the prices are very affordable. You can get. I always sell affordable things, and the expensive things are on one corner, So buy the one that you're able to buy and get ready.
With.
Yes, what your pocket can agree with. That's it. So it's okay. We're looking.
We're still pushing on.
Yeah,
Even if it's a slim thread, we'll still hang on.
We have to hang on. Let's take a short break now. When we come back, we'll do the newspaper reviews. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Yourview will be right back.
Welcome back. We'll be starting the newspaper reviews with The Nation. Major headline, Nigeria at 64. Military display at Aso Villa marks low-key event. President releases pigeons, cuts cake with others. Jonathan Okunjo-Iweala mark, governors foresee greater Nigeria. Security forces find another 66 illegal refineries. 72 incidents in 1 week. Noun Center set ablaze over rumor of likely use as IDP center. Pockets of protest in Lagos, Abuja, others. Decay in public schools unacceptable, says Abbas. Why government must slash $3 billion annual wheat import by experts. FRSC operatives recover 8.6 million at crash scene. Makinde extends transport subsidy. What stories do we have in it?
Okay. My story is...
Okay, I've got the Speaker of the House of Reps, Abbas Tajuddin, has decried what he calls the largely unregulated and proliferation of private schools in the country, saying that it has led to unacceptable decay in public schools across the country. So they said that he said this during an interactive session with students drawn from public schools in the FCT. He says that teachers, even in public schools, now put their children in private schools because they have no belief in what it is that they're doing. He also said that that Nigeria's education sector, for it to return to its glory days, adequate supervision, quality assurance in public schools must be prioritized by those tasked with the duty of running the sector. And I hear him, but I have a friend who owns a foundation and she works with public schools, especially in Lagos State. And she opened my eyes. I used to also think that these private schools everywhere, but she mentioned that the schools, like in Lagos State, the public schools are few and far between, and the private schools,
bridge the gap,
bridge the distance gap, and also fee gap. A lot of things like that. And that's why we have a lot of them. So what I would like for us to say going forward when we're talking about this education is how to work with both parties, with the private schools as well, improve on them, or make them public schools in some way so that we have more children in schools. Constantly just talking about what the issues are at the very top is not a problem. What is the reason why we have many private schools?
And
that is what we should be looking at. But they said he also made some... he distributed bags of rice and also offered free treatments for people to...
Rice?
Yes.
We shall rise.
We shall rise.
Above the rice.
We shall rise.
Which are the stories?
Okay, so I have the story of the Ibezim residents ablaze in Imo State. They said some gunmen touched the residence of a former lawmaker, Senator Frank Ibezim, at Ehime Mbano local government area of Imo. They said the suspects who are still at large also burnt down some facilities at the National Open University of Nigeria, also situated in the area. There was a viral video that went around, and in the viral video, they said there was a report that the federal government planned to renovate the Noun facility as a training ground for repentant Boko Haram insurgents.
Wow.
And simply because they saw the Federal Commission and National Commission for Refugees, Migrants, and Internally Displaced Persons, Tijani Mohammed, they went to the center with Mr. Ibezim. They went to they went on an inspection so that they can start a program to help the vulnerable persons in the state. So the program was supposed to start before the end of the year, and they said a lot of our people raised their voices against the internally displaced persons training project in that place, especially where there is no existence of the IDPs in the states. I'm thinking that when they come for such, they should at least sensitize the people around that this is what they want to do. It's not so that they don't see now this misinterpretation. Now look at what it has caused. They've said the place ablaze. But now they are saying that the Okoye said that the police boss has deployed the command's tactical units to identify and apprehend those responsible for that.
I think the one I have in the nation is Governor Autumn, who said that God told him not to contest election in 2027. And this one says that the former governor of Benue State, Samuel Autumn, has said God told him not to contest any election in 2027. He said, I am not contesting the 2027 election. I knew why I lost in the election in 2023, and because I didn't consult God. My people purchased the forms for me, and I accepted them without consulting God. He said, God has revealed everything to me. He has asked me to wait for him. Autumn has also said this. He also said that he's making a far-reaching sacrifices in the course of his tenure as Benue State governor, including abandoning his family and friends at some point for state matters. So he is saying that because he's the leader of the G14, the elders in the states, G14 of the PDP in Benue State, he says if anything must happen, that he must know first because he is the leader, and there are no rumors around the fact that he wants to disband the group, that he cannot disband the group despite being the leader of that group. And this just brings me to say I don't like the fact that most of our politicians like to godify a lot of situations around them. You don't want to contest, for personal reasons. Then you have done your bit, you've been a governor for how many
Which of
tenures?
the gods? We need to be asking these questions.
He's
because
a
there are several
Christian,
gods.
so
Do you understand? Even as a
No,
Christian,
even as a
you
Christian,
don't.
you could have other gods.
So, I mean, they should just leave God out of
Just
this.
kidding.
They should, because even the God has said, let there be light. And some places we still do not have light. So it doesn't mean that most of them follow.
Hey,
That's
PG perspective.
Yes, that's a PG perspective.
So they should remove God out of whatever they do.
All right, we have another story here. The Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, Kaduna State Sector Command operatives have recovered 8.6 million at the scene of an accident. The sector commander, Mr. Kabir Nadabo, confirmed the accident to the news agency of Nigeria yesterday in Kaduna. He said the crash occurred at area G Samaru on the Zaria Funtua Road at about 7 p.m., which left 2 persons injured. He said the Ford pickup belonged to the Nigerian Army and it collided with the Toyota Corolla. Both were involved in the accident. He said the van was moving towards Funtua when the Corolla lost control and crashed into the Ford. But according to initial investigations, they said the cause of the crash was speeding and loss of control. So a rescue team from Zebra, 55 Shika, led by Zebra Head, conducted the rescue. They also went ahead to say that further investigation showed that 3 people were involved in the crash, 2 sustained injuries, while 1 person was injury-free. So they had taken the person to the hospital. In addition to the rescue, they found 8.6 million belonging to the owner of the vehicle, and they are waiting for him to get better so that they can hand the money over.
Just let it be complete.
It's got to be complete. It's just got to be complete. So let's move on now to the Punch. Major headline: October 1 protest records low turnout nationwide. Kaduna, Plateau, Nasarawa or the Shon rally. Heavy police presence in Osun, Niger. Police arrest 10 in Kano, Port Harcourt as Nance back President Youth Confab. Flooding worsens despite 180 billion spent on dams. Port Harcourt refinery misses 7th production rollout deadline. Tinubu government preaches patriotism at 64th Independence Day parade. Federal government extends rice subsidy program to states. 5 suspects arrested for allegedly killing Ogun fisherman. And Iran launches 180 missiles at Israel. Federal government plans Nigerians' evacuation. Let's take a story and we'll go on a short break.
I have the one for the flooding worsens despite 180 billion naira spent on dams. And this one is saying that amidst plan by the federal government to allocate fresh funds for conducting integrity tests on all dams in the country. Findings by, of course, the Punch has shown that a total sum of 179.77 billion naira was allocated for the construction and rehabilitation of the dams across the country over the past 10 years. And this analysis of budgetary allocations disbursed to the Federal Ministry of Water Resources and other related agencies between 2015 and 2024. And we're also hearing that, we're also reading that Punch reported that the first focus of government on spending dams emerged after the flooding incident that took over 50% of Maiduguri following the failure of the Alau Dam. This incident triggered the several downpours, resulted in a catastrophic flooding in Borno State, claiming over 30 lives and displacing at least 400,000 people. And finally, the breakdown of the budget between 2015 and 2024 showed the government allocation for preservation of the dams into 1,524.5% from the previous allocation in 2015, which was 44.25 billion within the 10 years, highlighting a steady increment in budgetary allocations. So I like the fact that they say they want to do integrity tests for the dams. So when they are doing integrity tests for the dams, the people that are allocating to should do integrity tests for themselves.
So true. We'll take a breather here. When we come back, we continue the newspaper reviews. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. We're still reviewing the papers, and Ramatu
Okay.
is ready with her story.
Yeah, so we have the rice gist. they said the federal government is expanding its subsidized rice program to alleviate food insecurity in Nigeria, with sales set to launch in Lagos, Kano, and Borno states. They are going to, they said the federal government is providing 30,000 metric tons of rice, meaning translating to 1,000 trucks. Each of the truck is carrying 600 bags. And they said that it will be selling for 40,000 naira. They said the initiative was part of a broader strategy to ensure that no Nigerian goes to bed hungry. But he also said that the subsidized rice program also aims to provide relief to citizens amid soaring market prices. They said the current market price of a 50 kg bag of rice is about 90,000 or 100,000. Me, I bought mine around 100,000 or so.
I bought
And this rice
yesterday.
gist.
107
107.
yesterday.
It's more than
manage my
100.
rice,
Yes. You better manage it very well.
Manage my
Calculate it.
rice.
So, but I keep saying it's not just rice that is just the issue. They have to subsidize other things. I can
which
see
they are
because I
doing.
saw one concerning wheat.
Okay.
Because a lot of people consume bread and all this pastry, so they should also do something.
Which they are
I've said it before, we shall rise above rice.
Okay.
Okay.
So the federal government on Tuesday hinted at a move to evacuate Nigerians in Lebanon as hostility between Israel and Iran escalated, with Iran firing 180 ballistic missiles at Israel. And Iraq, Lebanon, and Jordan lie between Iran and Israel, and therefore be affected by this new development. So we had on X, the special assistant to the president on social media, Dada Olusegun, through his handle says, "Alert," with exclamation mark, "all Nigerians in Lebanon are expected to get in touch with the Nigerian mission for profiling and documentation and subsequent evacuation." So Iran had launched a barrage of missiles at Israel in response to the killing of Iran-backed militant leaders and sending Israelis to shelters and prompting. Anyway, the 180 ballistic missiles that was launched at Israel, Israelis' air defenses said that they were able to intercept them. And so, so their own what they call air defenses were effective against the missiles. But for the Nigerians that may be caught in between, please quickly go to the mission and start your profiling so that evacuation can begin. Yes.
Yeah, so I have a human interest story here. The Ogun State Police Command has arrested at least 5 persons in connection with the death of a fisherman named Shegun Sikiru in a town in Ijebu-Ode, local government area. It says that the command received, a report on Monday that the incidents occurred when the suspect allegedly assaulted the victim with a bamboo stick and discarded the body in a lagoon in the community. So the 5 suspects, all members of the community, Sahid Mureni, Afiz Mureni, Sahid Taidi, Thompson Samuel, and Ogoji Olorunwa, were apprehended by the operatives of the Abigi Police Division on Sunday. And according to the story, they said that the suspects were arrested after the family members reported the incident. That's the deceased family members reported the incident. They said the deceased and his 2 sons had left their home to go fishing when they noticed the suspicious activity, in their fishing trap. Okay. And by the time they raised the alarm and spotted those people, the guy used a bamboo stick and hit the chest. Luckily for the 2 sons, they were able to escape. I'm sure they were the ones that made the report at the end of the day. But then the guy had died of the force, so severe hitting, and then his body was just thrown into the water. And I'm wondering, you went to steal fish, and then you're killing the owner of the fish. When they raised the alarm, why didn't you just run away?
Yeah.
It's well. Let's move on now to the Vanguard. Major headline: soldiers, police crack down on protesters in Rivers, Abuja, and Kano. Emirates lands in Lagos 2 years after suspending operation. NNPCL allocates 48.6 million barrels of crude to Dangote refinery. Macallan unveils 73-year-old whiskey masterpiece Tales of the Macallan Volume 11. Independence anniversary, Nigeria at risk of dictatorship, Atiku and Obi. Here we have Independence Day speech. Tinubu failed to address Nigerians' problems, the CSOs. Iran launches missile attack on Israel. I didn't steal Kaduna's money, can swear with Quran, says ex-governor El Rufai. Gunmen sets NAN facility ablaze in Imo. What stories do we have in the Vanguard?
Okay, so I have the story of the I didn't steal Kadina's money.
Okay.
Aaron's Eid of Babban Quran, he says El-Rufai. So they said the former governor Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna State has pledged to swear by the Holy Quran that he did not steal state money during his tenure as governor. And he also challenges his predecessors to do the same. He said, I did not join politics to steal money or enrich myself. I was satisfied with what I had before becoming the governor. And he also said, I have always prayed for guidance in all I do. I strive not to betray the trust of the people. Whenever the former governors of Kaduna State and other leaders are ready to swear with the Quran that they never misappropriated public funds, I will join them. And after all that he has said in the paper, he said, I intend to return to politics in 2027 after completing my studies. There is no retirement in politics. By the will of Allah, we will return and continue serving the people.
Amiolua. So I have the major headline here. Said some protesters against bad governance had a raw deal in the hands of the army, police, and other security agencies, and even political thugs yesterday in Rivers, Kano, and the Federal Capital Territory, FCT Abuja. They said they had, vowed that they were going to protest October 1, and they had their action themes: Fearless in October, National Day of Survival. They talked tough. Also, the security agents kept to their own part, ensuring law and order across the states. They said the outcome was a crackdown of the protesters, of which 5 leaders were arrested in Kano. They were also tear-gassed and chased about in Abuja and Port Harcourt. They said peaceful protests happened in Lagos, Ibadan, and Ondo, with the organizers and collaborating civil society organizations, that's the CSOs, vowing to sustain the struggle against bad governance in the country. We know that this protest was a continuation of the End Bad Governance protest, yes, that happened in, I think that was August. And they said the protesters were met with resistance from different parts of the country. Rivers State police and suspected political thugs dispersed October 1 protesters in Port Harcourt. They also stopped media personnel from taking pictures or videos of the incident. Other states as well had a record of what happened. In Kano, for instance, a coalition and pan-Nigeria movement under the aegis of Nigeria Patriotic Front Movement, NPFM, Northern Chapter, alleged that 5 of their leaders were arrested as a result of the protest. Abuja too, police fired canisters, tear gas at hundreds of protesters across the country, and it just went on. But I didn't hear any tear gas, anything that happened yesterday. So I think it was more peaceful
here in Lagos.
The southwest. Yeah. Are we moving on now?
Yes.
Vanguard. Okay.
Tribune.
Yes. Nigerian Tribune, major headline: protests in Lagos, Abuja, orders over hardship. Tinubu Shetima orders mark Independence Day in Aso Villa. PDP slams Tinubu's Independence Day speech, says its rhetoric insensitive to Nigeria's plight. Iran launches ballistic missiles at Israel. I will swear with Holy Quran, El-Rufai denies corruption allegations. Makinde extends subsidized transport scheme by 6 months. Federal government confers national honors on Akpabio Kekere Ekun.
Kekere Ekun.
Kekere Ekun.
The small of a lamb.
Okay. Prevail on EFCC to stop harassing ex-governor Bello, group tells Tinubu. Arsonist set down facility, senators' residence ablaze in Imo. What stories do we have in the Tribune?
I have the PDP slams Tinubu's Independence Day speech, and this one says that the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has criticized President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's Independence Day speech, calling it a missed opportunity to address the urgent issues plaguing Nigeria. In the press statement issued by the National Public Secretary, Debo Ologunagba, said that the opposition party described the speech as legaric and filled with false performance claim. The failure that failed to resonate with the struggles of the everyday Nigerian. The PDP specifically criticized the president for ignoring widespread calls to review policies that are worsening the economic situations. These, according to the party, include the removal of fuel subsidies, which has led to the skyrocketing fuel prices, and the devaluation of the naira, which has plunged millions of Nigerians into poverty. And they also said that the failure of the speech to respond to the cries of millions of Nigerians that President Tinubu eases their suffering by reviewing life-suffocating policies of his government also validates concerns in the public space of the emerging totalitarianism where certain individuals or group of individuals are benefiting from the travail of the people, Ologun Agba said. And I think this one, well, it's just for us that when you are in the ring, it's easier to throw shades at the other side. When PDP, if PDP actually comes back, they will APC will also do the same thing back and forth. So it just shows us that it's like there's nobody that is really patriotic.
Do we have another story?
No.
Okay, that's all we can take on the newspaper reviews. Next, we move to our sponsored segment from Pistis Foundation and Ubomi Outreach. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. So a veteran Yoruba actress, Ayo Mogaji, recently shared her thoughts on the struggles women face with marriage, especially as they approach 35. According to her, any woman who isn't married at the age of 35 should get pregnant for any man she sees. And this statement caused a lot of controversies online. People were talking about it, people were talking against it, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. So you can join the conversation and call us on 081-764-1679 or 09024163440. You can tweet to us at TVC Connect using the hashtag Yourviewtvc. So this interview in question was handled by our very own Damilola Banire. And it was handled in, I think, Yoruba.
Yes.
Yes.
Yoruba.
So I would like you to give us the context of her response to the question, because sometimes I know that a lot of things are lost in interpretation when you're converting from local language to English. Okay. So if you give that to us, then we'll know how to respond to the conversation.
I'll say that basically the question was because she had put it out there that she had her first child and her only child at the age of 40. I think she said it was barely 6 weeks to when she was 40 that she gave birth to that child, and with different medical conditions and complications that she had gone through. And I think that came as a result of the fact that, okay, a lot of women are usually bashed because in the process of waiting for a husband, you are also losing valuable time that you are supposed to use in childbearing and child raising. Knowing fully well that the woman body anatomy has a stipulated period of time that it can allow you assess probably pregnancy and all of that. So she was speaking in this context and it was not as regards see any man. She was like, probably a woman will have maybe 4 or 5 men and you will just know the one you have an affinity for. You know, the way we women see men and know that, this one, you know escape. Do you get? So it was in that context she was speaking about if a woman is already 35, instead of going through the fact that, because you're not married and you're going to now delay your process of childbirth, you can look for a man, even if he's not ready and you are ready, you're financially capable, you're active to it. You can get pregnant for one of the men within your circle and just know that this child is my child. It doesn't necessarily have to be the man's child if the man doesn't want it. And that was that context.
Okay.
And I remember that, I think a few months back, another English actor, English actress, or so to speak, also said something similar and came under fire because people are now projecting that, oh, yes, the organogram is supposed to be get married before having children. But now things are rapidly changing. And women are saying that, oh, I have a friend who, till now, I'm sorry, she doesn't have any child. She's about 44. And she keeps regretting on one pregnancy she aborted. She keeps regretting on that particular one. And I said, when she told me a few years back, she was saying the child would have been 11. Right. I said, when she aborted that pregnancy in her 30s. Do you understand? So I said, now in 44, there is no husband in sight, nor a child. So it brings us back to if she had that child and she was just raising the child, she knows that she's nurturing something for her future.
Okay.
And that was just the context.
Damilola, I'd like to hear the thoughts of the ladies. Ramatu?
Okay.
What do you think about this?
I think basically I agree with her to a large extent because there are some women that go into menopause very early. There's some women, I know of somebody who went into menopause as early as 33. Yes, she entered menopause.
Wow.
And you can imagine, she was not yet married. And you can imagine already 33. Faced with, yes, you can go into menopause at any age.
Yeah.
That's what I just realized with her. And then, secondly, I would say most women is not, I know that a lot of women, some of the guys are irresponsible. So they won't want to just take in and just have a child for any man. I have a friend who didn't want that drama involved. And what she did was she did IVF.
Okay.
Well, guess what? She went to Egypt. So she did IVF of those Arab look. If you see her kids, they are so... She looking very nice and all. So she decided to do it before she clocked 40.
Okay.
So if a woman is waiting and she sees that at the end of the day, the marriage is not coming forth, yes, she can decide if she thinks
that's what she wants.
It's okay for her to have a child. And I think it's better for single, I don't want to look down or spoil anything, but I think it's better for a woman to have a child, to be a single mother, than gay parents adopting a child. That's my own opinion. I'm not
generalizing.
Another one. We're trying to survive this one.
So, I've entered another angle, sorry. So I think, I feel women should, if you feel that, because there are so many women who are in a relationship, you find out that they're with a guy and the guy is not serious, he's not ready to commit, he's not ready to...
put a foot down.
Yeah, exactly, be a father or something. You can decide to be a father on your own, just, go in, get pregnant, and then have your child.
Move on.
And move on with your life.
Okay, Miriam. Because should we get pregnant before?
I think look at you.
You would have finished that.
The way I was saying it.
No, it's because we married on time. If we did not, maybe this would have been our conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So in this sort of conversation, you have to put yourself in other people's shoes.
Yes, true.
Because, I don't know. Nigerian
society
system confuses me, because we tend to give a lot of, our culture appreciates and praises a woman that gets married and has her children in marriage. We have demonized and called out women who have had children outside wedlock.
Yeah.
So if we are calling, baby mama is now synonymous to a bad woman. Do you understand? If we call those women baby mamas and bad women, why are we now saying that they should be baby mamas once they are 35?
Times have changed.
So I don't So for me, I'm here to learn from all of you, because I don't understand which way to go. Is baby mama wrong when you're below 35, and the boy is right when you're above 35?
Because there's an age caveat here.
Yes.
So that's what, that's my question. And yes, there are people, I actually know of a couple of people who are way older, in their 60s, who've never married and never had children. And it was a decision for religious reason that I am not going to defile unless it's on a marital ground. And if it is God's will for me that I don't have a husband, then I will not have a child outside wedlock. So there's that, there's the Christianity, and many of us claim to be quite religious. I know of Islam too. They will frown on a woman that is having children outside wedlock. So which one is it? Please, Nigerians, teach me the way forward. Because I really, in this case, I don't know where.
Particularly because she also stressed on the fact that a lot of women who miss their youthful age, they are chasing career.
Yeah.
That you can always have a child and go back to your career instead of having to focus so much on your career and you now lose that time frame of having children. Yes, I agree that there are a lot of times that women are delayed for different reasons. God factor, natural factor, medical factor, anything can be a cause of a delay. So imagine a woman who is accomplished. I remember that I had an interview with a top...
Can she adopt?
Adoption is also one of it, but what's the family sentiment towards adoption? We are not very receptive or accepting of adoption. Now, this particular woman, what I wanted to state was she's a top boss in the oil and gas sector, and I was on an interview with her, and with so much robust CV, I was intrigued that, how do you even have time for your family, your husband and your children and all of that? And she answered me meticulously. After the show, I got to know that there was no husband nor a child. And I felt terrible because I didn't get that part of the manuscript. And I just, in my head, it's just like, oh, every woman who is accomplished, at least she should have a family. And just like I said, she answered me meticulously and she didn't give me an in-linking to the fact that there was no husband or no child. So she has achieved so much in the oil and gas that, in fact, she says that people look at her as a man, that they don't even treat her as a woman. Do you get? So now, looking back to, if she goes back to her closet, there are tendencies that probably she's reneging on the fact that, oh, when I was supposed to have children, I was busy putting up my career, setting up my career. Okay, now this career has come now. Like the way we say it, who is going to inherit every other thing you have left there? Next of kin did not send you.
Okay. Let me take this call, then I'll come to you. Rufiat from Iyanokbaja. Good morning, Rufiat. Good morning.
Good morning. I would like to put in my contribution to the topic.
Okay.
And I would say that what she has actually said is right. She might have said it, or people might have perceived it in the wrong way. But what she said is actually right. As a lady, we all know that our body system differs, and we tend to be more fruitful or productive when we are in our middle 20s. Where, if you try to get what I'm saying, the chances of being pregnant and everything, giving birth to active children, is when we are in the 20s. I won't talk I'm talking from experience. I'm in my mid-30s.
Okay.
So I discovered that when I was in my early 30s, or let's say going towards 28, 29, I was able to conceive actively. More, the chances of me conceiving was very high than when I'm in my mid-30s now. So that statement coming from Ayomogaji, I'm sorry, this is the truth that we all are shying from.
To accept.
Just because we might just be perceiving it wrongly, but she's actually saying the truth. I'm a Muslim. I will support you having children out of wedlock. I'm sorry, I won't support that. But our system should encompass the fact that we can give birth and still go on with our careers. We can give birth.
But if you give birth outside wedlock, you're supporting it now. That's what you're saying.
Are you supporting?
No,
Are you supporting or you're not supporting?
I'm not supporting child out of wedlock.
But giving birth and going back to your career when you're not married is also...
No, that's why I'm saying that we should allow early marriage.
Early marriage. Nobody's stopping early marriage. Is anybody stopping early marriage?
Okay.
I get you. Thank you so much, Rufayat.
So what she said, I was going to respond to that when you said that a woman who has given so much has sacrificed, her youth for her career. And I know that this is a sacrifice that she's aware of, right? Recently, I was watching a podcast, and a particular person was saying that the truth is that with a lot of success, there comes sacrifices. You cannot have it all.
At all.
You may never have it all. So when we, make some decisions, we understand fully what we're doing. And sometimes when we try to have it all, then we now are met with this sort of questions. Is it right or is it wrong? So a woman who has made that sacrifice, what I see that they do is, one, if you say you're a baby mama, now people will come for you. If you say that go and have a child with any man, somebody asks, whose husband are you asking to go and have a child with? Because so that means you should pick. It's easy to say, but are you donating your husband for this?
No, I should pick a single guy now. Why am I donating my husband?
Yeah, because the single guys are the ones in question that are not ready to put their foot down.
You can get the belly and move on now.
Okay, so if this single guy is ready and you're ready, why are you not together?
What if the single guy is not ready, but he has good genes that can give me that?
So the single guy is ready? No, but that means the single guy is still ready to be a father.
No, he's not ready. But you're in a relationship.
So you're going to scam him into having his child?
No, you go get the belly now. Just
no, so that you're scamming him.
That's not scam now.
No, it is.
You go just get the belly now. Belly enters now.
No, because I'm not even talking of marriage. If a single man and a single woman decide we want to have a child together and co-parent,
but yes,
that is okay. But if you're saying
we're not ready to marry.
But yes, but if you're saying that the woman should have a child with a single man by hiding it because the man, you know that this man is not ready to have a child, but you're going to scam your way into having the child, what are we talking about
but it's my
here?
child now.
Well,
But that's beside the point. That's beside the point.
For me, what seems morally right here would be adoption. Some form of IVF, surrogacy, those sort of options. But if we're to really look at it, whose husband will you go and have this child with? Or whose son are you going to scam into having a child that he's not ready? And then when he's finally ready and to be with his person that he has decided to be in a relationship with, then you now appear and say, you know, that time, even though you said you did not want.
We may not appear. Let me give you a quick story. So there's this particular guy who said, wait now. Yeah, they know they look. Sometimes they know they look. So wait now, let me tell you. So this particular guy just walked into the X at the shopping mall. And saw twin boys with his face exactly. Twin boys. They had broken up 5 years ago. Apparently, the lady was pregnant. Did not tell him anything. She gave birth to her pikin, carry pikin. Now she's married to somebody else. But he said immediately he saw her and then greeted her and saw. He knew the way they had his face, spitting image, and he didn't know. He said he froze.
Why are you laughing?
Because it's true. He will go back home and continue reflecting and reflecting.
Yeah, he did. The husband was there. The lady is remarried.
She's married.
Oh, no.
But those kids were his spitting image, and they were 5 years old.
So from calculations...
It was a funny... We have a caller, Dr. Moyo. Good morning, Dr. Moyo.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Happy New Month.
Happy New Month to you too.
Yes. The thing is, it's easy to say, but in practice, in reality, it's difficult. It's not easy to be a single mother, especially in this type of economy. And I remember I had a conversation with my dad over this same matter because I told him I'm not getting any younger and I'm almost leaving my 30s. So so he now told me that I should look at it this way. Number one, if you have a child, it's not an issue. But once the child starts getting to 11, 12, 13, at that point you need his father. No matter how strong you are, you will always need a male input. And when the father is not around, how do you step in? You can't do the two roles at the same time. And there are some times, there might be a time in his life, in the child's life, where he will need to travel, where he will need the signature or input of the biological father. Where does he come in? You
have brothers, you have uncles, you have cousins. Get him for your son. It's not like I'm saying people should go and get pregnant, but let me tell you what I think, right? Okay, so we'll take a short break. Dr. Moyo, sorry, have to go now. When we come back, try and see if you can get us back, okay? We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we have an accomplished executive leader who has collaborated with media, government, corporate business, community leaders to deliver value to various industries, especially in the oil and gas and not-for-profit ecosystem. She's also an astute project manager and civic leader with extensive knowledge of humanitarian activities and currently the international director of Lions International Club. Yeah. I'll call it club. Welcome with us, Princess Bridget Which country?
Lagos.
Oh, Lagos.
From Lagos State.
From Lagos State. You're welcome,
you go
ma.
back in the days, you have the Brazilians.
Okay, Tychus. This is
So
my first
here
time
we
seeing
are.
that name. You're welcome, ma.
Thank you.
So we're having a very interesting conversation before you joined us, and I would like your input on it. We're talking about women who've passed the age of 35, heading to 40, if they should, decide to have a child and then continue their career, so that they don't get to a point where they can no longer have a child because of our biology issues, and then begin to regret. And I'd like to know what you think about it. Are you a Christian, ma'am?
Very good Christian.
Okay,
In
all
fact,
right.
a
You can
good-
start from there. Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, let me say good morning and happy independence to viewers at home.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm so glad to be here with you and to have a say in this discussion that was already on ground before I came in. Women are wired by God to fulfill some basic and essential duties. And one of them is bringing a baby to life. Unfortunately, you will see the window where doing such is very easy and very convenient. And after that age, that window, it's not that it's impossible, but it might be difficult. Might be difficult even in terms of the health challenges that we expose such women to. So when you now decide to have a family, bringing a child into the world is that lady's or that woman's decision in terms of put all things you have on ground. Can you take care of this baby? Will your work or time or career permit? If you go through all those checklists and you think you are good, you are talking about, I must have a husband. Is that to have a baby? There must be a man, right?
Husband or not? Or there must be a husband?
There must be a man.
There must be a man, not
Of
a
course
husband.
No, wait, ma. Wait.
There must be
wait.
a boyfriend.
Wait, ma. Can we
There
finish?
must be
Very
a
well.
man.
So is this man...
Does not need a title.
Oh, a man
No
must be...
tag.
Of course, a man. But we want to give the man a label.
She said there's no need.
Circumstances, the curves in life,
Our mothers are speaking from wisdom.
the curves that life throws you may not give you that opportunity to label
The man.
the insemination. And if you fall into that category where you cannot label,
Hi.
and you look at yourself and you say, time is no longer on my side, what do I do? Do you want to abort this baby? Do you want to go ahead and have this baby? What do you do?
Let me pause you,
No,
man.
before
I
you-
never expected that you're going to be this real.
Okay.
Because I had to ask first, are you a Christian? And I said, start
Christian?
from there.
Yes.
So this was not the response I expected, because what we hear is a blanket. If God says you must go through this way, this is the only way, there's no other way but this way. Now, hearing a woman of your age saying that sometimes life throws you curveballs, it's just being really realistic. And I'm sure that's where the original actor
Came in from.
That life can actually do.
And
I
undo.
hear,
Yeah.
ma'am, I hear about the curveballs, but also, I'm sorry that I have to put the Christian
Go ahead.
person, I don't know also maybe what role you also play in church, but I know that women who are Christians, especially our mothers and older, would call a woman who's had a child outside wedlock as a bad woman. She's a bad example. So how is it that in one breath she's a bad example, and then the second breath, it's okay, life throws our curveballs? Why
double standard.
Why
Who
the
are
double
you to
standard?
judge?
Exactly.
You won't.
Okay.
It's black.
I'm not judging, I'm just hearing you people in the society. It's what people say. People say in the Bible, the Bible say no. The society, when we are talking, when a lady comes with a baby, you particularly, I'm sorry to say, there's a certain demographic
fornication.
that calls them out for being bad women.
Yeah.
Have
Even
you
in
not-
churches,
Let me-
you're
Yes.
suspended from certain activities.
Yes.
You're put at the back, you
No one says that's a curveball
Yes,
that
that
happened.
life-
Let me remind us about a beautiful story in the Bible.
Okay.
It was this woman at the well who met Jesus. And she was about to be stoned for adultery and all sorts and all sorts. I met Jesus. And when the accusers came, Jesus was writing on the floor.
Ground, yeah.
And he was waiting for the first person to cast a stone, but nobody could. Because the question is, who out of you does not have a sin? Who out of you is free? Mine may be a child out of wedlock.
What is
Yours,
Gossip.
all sorts,
Stealing.
all sorts. So we are not to judge, because Jesus came to spread love. You can correct in love, but you cannot judge me, because you don't know where I'm coming from. You don't know my history. You don't know my story. Unless you put yourself in my shoes,
yeah.
then you will know where it pinches.
And what are you even correcting an adult for? Is this person hurting another person? You know, the sin here is if you're doing something against another human being. This is a decision that you have taken for yourself based off of your circumstances.
Excuse me, ma'am.
You could be hurting another woman.
How?
Excuse me, what if I went to the spam bank? Forget hurting anybody's husband committing adultery.
I don't know the percentage of Nigerian women who are single mothers who are as a result of just going to the sperm bank.
No, we've not reached that
I'm
level.
just, no. We have not reached that level.
Let's be realistic.
But the point I'm trying to make is not every person out there went out of their way to commit adultery or to break homes, and become a single mother. No woman wants to be a single mother. We must come from that perspective and understand
Life
that
happens.
the
man fell into your bed, man.
Yeah, nobody will wake up and say, "Aye,
that is my life ambition."
I like the part where she came from, the fact that we shouldn't be judgmental.
You cannot. You cannot. Because you are judging me for adultery.
Nigeria is changing.
But in this context
Don't
now
worry,
that we are looking at
tomorrow
the
we
interview,
discuss this from-
the woman who said it particularly stressed on the fact that a lot of women are so much in sync with their career. They want to build a foundation of a career foundation so much that they neglect the fact that they are supposed or supposedly to bring in children. Now, career or child raising or childbearing, rather.
No, I disagree with that point of view. As much as possible, you must try to balance the scales. Don't let any ball drop. Career, marriage, parenthood, career.
If it comes, if the marriage comes.
If it comes.
Yeah.
If it comes.
If it doesn't come.
No, but to be
If it
fair,
comes.
there's some women who have put marriage on hold, relationships on hold, because they feel that it may interfere with their careers. They make those choices
Themselves.
Intentionally.
Yes, intentionally.
Yeah.
And they didn't really put maybe great thought into the fact that physiologically they may have issues having children later on. And then when it happens, is now who is the man that can be here for me at this point? So
it goes to decision making. This decision making is like a decision tree. You know, this branch A, branch B, you have options. Which one suits you, or which one would you rather go for?
At this time.
So you realize that we are results of our decisions.
Yep. So
And
true.
some
so,
people have even sacrificed marriages already.
absolutely.
And children. You know, some people will say, I had to leave my children to pursue this career, and I hope that they forgive me and see how far I've gone, and I did it for them.
Yes.
True.
But
I
would like a balance.
if you can.
If you can,
If you are intentional, I have this feeling that if you are intentional about something, sincerely speaking, you will
But
get
do you
it.
know that we also have women who are not interested in bearing children?
This is
It's not
for them.
their.
This is not for them. This is not
It's
for
not
them.
their.
That
it's not in their
discussion
view.
is for another day.
Exactly.
Because then you just
and
face
those
your
women
career.
are there. We see them.
Absolutely, and they're happy.
But then, you know, there are some women that are so sure they don't want children. And then after a while, I think maybe society gets into their head, which is, no matter how successful, you should have had children. And so all of a sudden,
You
they
wake
are
up
thinking,
navigating.
how,
have
so
that.
that's something else I know that women struggle.
There was a conversation we had.
We have to move on to our guest now.
Okay.
She did not come here to come and join us.
enjoying our
She said,
because she's a
and
man
I Yes.
And I like her.
Yes, I enjoy her too. So, let's talk about you now.
Okay.
You are a member of the board of directors at Apex Tech Incorporated.
Yes.
And you're focused into organizational, strategic planning, and so forth and so on. And I would like to know why you decided to get into something like that. Because you look like a very soft, nurturing somebody who would rather want to just be in the kitchen, nurturing her home. So how are you able to, handle both? And why did you decide to take it like that?
I really wished this chilling, soft life,
Baby girl.
baby girl.
Yeah.
But I guess I believe I was created to be a solution provider. And it really doesn't, I don't really have to know you. I just want to know there's an issue, there's a problem. And before you ask me, I'm jumping into it and offering solutions. And that was what brought me here. I should not be sitting as international director or even become a Lion member if I didn't go out of my way to solve my husband's problem.
Oh, tell us about
He
it.
was the first one that became a Lion.
Oh.
And he was made the secretary in his club. And I'm like, this is not how I read the meaning. This is not how you do it. Oh, this is not, you have to. He now said you have to, all this, like, why don't you come, join, and help? He just said help. And I went in thinking I was helping. And before I knew it, his club members were begging him, please.
Allow her now.
Allow her.
Oh, wow.
Let her just continue in this role. And I continued, even without being a Lion. I was still just doing, pro bono. But again, the pressure was, why don't you now join a Lion member? And I took that bold step in 1982.
Okay. I'm sorry,
Only
ma.
1982.
82.
I'm better than you guys.
Let me finish that 1982. My last son was about 3 or 4 months old. And I jumped into that decision, knowing that my time would be in demand. My work, you said oil and gas, I was then in what was called Unipetrol.
Okay.
Now, Oando. I think they are NMPC. I don't even know, follow. So I have work, I have little baby family, and I have the Lions Club. That was when I
The
said,
husband, can you not add husband? That's 4 things you have, because husbands are
because
big babies themselves.
the first one is the first baby.
Yes,
So-
the first baby, yeah.
So that's
where
when
the
I said
balancing-
balance. That was where the balancing coming. You must be able to balance and not drop a ball.
Hi.
Must be a
And
juggler.
42
what
years,
difficult?
I'm still standing.
So 42 years now.
In
Juggling.
marriage.
42 years.
No,
Marriage
since she
is
joined
more
the
than
line.
since I joined the Lion. I got married in 1977.
How old are you, ma?
In 3 months, I will be 70.
Wow.
Now you put me on the air to come and ask my age.
Lady Harry.
I couldn't even guess
Yes, I wouldn't have thought.
Amazing.
70.
So, but in all of this, were there no
that means
times
you-
that you needed to take a drastic decision as regards family needs me, career needs me?
Yeah.
Where did you put yourself?
Absolutely. My life is very funny. I hope there are young ladies out there watching and listening and learning. I got married pretty early. That
Okay.
you can.
Can
And
tell.
my dad gave me a condition. He said, get married, I don't care when, how early, but if you are not a graduate, go to university. Then I only had OND.
Okay.
If you are not a graduate in this family, I don't know what you will become. And I know you. I know your nature. You are competitive. So I will advise you, even with marriage, you can still go to school. And so, with that understanding, baby, University of Lagos, Unipetrol, Lions Club, husband, everything. And not only did I get the first degree that my daddy begged me to get, I also had 2 master's degrees to follow.
Our people.
Okay, ma'am. I'm going to ask
Wait,
you how
you
you
didn't answer my question.
Okay.
Was there a particular day?
That's why I went into that
story,
story.
okay, the background story.
That's why I went to the background story.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so this day I had exams. I thought I was cute, carrying and then my the last baby said to me, Mommy, every day you are going to school, what were you doing? I will never forget that question.
When your mates were going to school.
How did you know?
That's how
Ouch.
Ouch. It really ouch. Really ouch.
These children.
Yes, that was, I will never forget that question.
Lord. Hi.
What
were you doing?
When your
When
mates
your
were going to school.
were going to school?
Now
Or when
they're supposed to stay with me. You're going to school. Hey.
Why did you give
What
that
did you
to
now
me?
do? How did you respond?
it took me a second.
Of course.
And I'm like, you have to be careful.
African mother. That's where they come in.
I'm like, oh, I love your question. Did you ask your daddy? I said, did you ask your daddy why I couldn't go to school when my mates were going to school? What was I doing?
You were
I said, well,
married.
before you ask him, your daddy must have dreamt that one day
You would have.
you will need a parent to come to planet Earth. And that was why we changed our mind and said, Mommy, let's bring all these 3 children, and then you can continue. I said, so now you all 3 are here. Now that I've fulfilled your coming, can I go to
So I do my coming.
He asked me to go, so
Wow, amazing.
that's how I freed myself.
Amazing.
Wow.
So okay.
Okay, go ahead.
I was going to ask, I mean, you tell the good story of balancing, but recently I was listening to this lady. She owns like 5 companies. She's doing amazing, but she's married with 4 children. And they asked her how she does it, and she says it's because she has help. She delegates. She says she has decided the way she lives her life in a way that is guilt-free is that she understands that she cannot be everything to everyone, and she's willing to delegate. Is this something that you had to use as well?
Yes, please. Because there's no way, unless you want to deceive the whole world and deceive yourself, there's no way you can balance and not draw balls without help. When I had my first child in 1978, on his naming day, I had an exam to write. And my in-laws were there, you know how they come, this is our first grandchild, and I'm whispering to my husband,
I have to go.
what do we do? Because we need a story. We need a good story to tell them, and it can't be you are going for exam.
Why not?
They will ask you to stay.
No, to tell your in-laws.
No, your time, your generation.
Because I was going to say, why not?
Our generation.
Oh, my
Let's write
generation.
exam, I'm coming back.
My
Because they'll drive you
generation.
there.
You cannot, my generation, you cannot. They will tell you, maybe you can do the exam and all that.
Later.
So, my husband said, don't worry. How do you feed a baby? I said, this is what I gave him the little lecture about, because this he would not even think about.
He was very supportive.
He now said, you go. They are my people. Let me handle
them.
That's so nice.
That's why it works.
Amazing. I have a question for her.
Okay, so all this while that you have been trying to nurture the club and all of that, do you have a successor plan? Like somebody who can continue from where you stopped, your legacy and all?
Okay. It's a good question. And any organization, you don't want to go to atrophy, you have to think about succession plan. So for us in the Lions Club, succession plan, we start right from the
Root.
The roots. Thank you for that. From the roots. The moment you join, we begin to put you see, there's one thing that I bow and doff my hat for in Lionism. We invest a lot in capacity building.
Amazing.
I'm not kidding you. You will go to some courses, you are like, am I in Harvard? Yeah. Because we know this is an association that has been on since 1917. So if you don't have good learned, when I say learned, not like in the legal, we are the only learned people know. If you don't have them in the association, then you are looking for trouble. Because you will end up not handing over to qualified hands. So we start at the club level. That is the most basic. We start at the club level. When you become a zone, like what we call, you can describe as the local government chairpersons. We also, they have their training. When you move from zone, you go to region, your training. And we are training so that at these levels, we are getting you ready to become a district governor.
Okay.
A district governor is like in Nigeria right now, we have 6 districts because Nigeria is so huge. When I was district governor, I was governor for one Nigeria.
Oh, only you.
And I covered the north, the east.
Wow.
That's to tell you the kind of...
I mean, there's a man living in you.
a kind of, you can say that.
Say who and man with womb. Don't leave me.
Don't leave me.
A year, 2 years after me, they started complaining that, hey, we can't cope, hey, one country, hey. So we started bifurcating and bifurcating. Now there are 6 governors.
What one woman did.
Handled, single-handed. You're amazing, man.
So 6 governors planning and then detrained. We have a headquarters in Chicago, Illinois, and they send materials for this training because it's a global association.
Okay.
So you can't afford to be local in Nigeria or Ghana and go and compete with other Lion members from
Other countries.
So they give us one training
Across
the board. So by the time you move through those positions and you become a district governor, as soon as you become a district governor, listen to Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter said he was a good president of America because of the trainings he got when he was the governor of Lions Club International.
Hey, please, how do we join this Lions Club? It's doing me like it's something I will like.
I am ready to make all 4 of you Lion members.
Oh, amazing.
Only requirements, you must have a kind heart.
Oh, okay.
You must want to,
Help
you must
people.
want to help people service and not expect anything
Anything in
return.
return.
In this climb that we have,
That means not ready.
I'm ready.
I'm still a cub. I have not become a lion. I'm still a cub. Let me coblerize myself.
In fact, you are more than a lion. Hey, what you are doing here, don't underestimate it. Don't undervalue what you're doing here. Because when you share knowledge, it's one of our, what we believe in. That even sharing knowledge and transferring the destinies that you are shaping, it's a service on its own.
That's humbling.
Amazing.
Everything is not money.
Dami, can you hear?
No, of
And
course
these days, let me make your life very
Ready to
be coming. These days, we also have clubs.
She has Gen Z vibes.
I'm telling you.
Too many Gen Z grandchildren, I'm sure.
9 of them.
9
Wow.
Okay.
So we have clubs that are, you don't need to meet in person.
Okay.
They meet on Zoom
Okay.
because they are busy people like you.
Okay.
But they still want to make the community better than what they have now. That was how Lions Club came into being. This insurance man, his name is Melvin Jones, in 1917, he used to gather his friends and they would socialize, juice, hamburgers, stuff like that. And anytime they were at such meeting, he would go look down the window of his office and he saw squalor. And he said to them, do you know the little pennies we spend here? If we put it together, we can do something. That was how it started.
A hat for others.
I want to ask.
We have to wrap up.
Looking at the climbs in Nigeria here and looking at participation of women, I would say that you're an exceptional woman. That,
Yes,
that
you
people
are.
really need to tap in your grades. These are the grades that you say, God, I beg God.
Exactly.
But now, participation of women, especially in politics, from your perspective, we are more of the homemakers and women tend to shy behind and like, oh, I don't want trouble. Do you think women are doing enough, or do you think we are beginning to break barriers, or we have not even started to scratch the surface?
I would say we are not doing enough.
Okay.
I won't say we have not started.
Okay.
These are 4 women that have come to join, and now we are 5.
Yes,
Back in the days, it won't happen. So we have started, but we are not, it could be better, but we are not where we are supposed to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even in Africa, this is the first time a woman will become an international director.
Oh,
It's the first time. And I told you this association was founded in 1917.
Yes.
So what happened? Are we saying the women, and forgive me, I have to ask the audience to forgive me. I kind of believe that if you put a woman in office, he will work twice as hard.
Yes,
Because she knows she's going to be criticized.
Yes, we do.
So she's going to work twice as hard as the male counterpart.
Yes.
So we have to give them that recognition. And we also have to give them that opportunity.
Yeah.
What I would say to us is that when that opportunity knocks, we must make sure we grab it.
Yeah, amazing, amazing.
Guess what, my lady? 12 years ago was when I first indicated my intention to become an international director. But you know the woman thing. Hey, woman. In my head, I'm like, okay, maybe you've met those that can't stand their feet. This one, no.
You're not moving. Where are you from, ma? Because with your name, I couldn't.
Adetokpe.
You're Yoruba?
Yeah, Yoruba.
Pure one.
She's from Lagos State.
And Lagos?
No, I married a Lagosian. I'm an
Lagosian.
Ijebu princess.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I just wish we had more time. Like,
Yes.
you came in earlier so that we would
know
gist
what
with you, drill you.
She's like fire. So her smile
Yeah.
has the fire.
Yes.
I have a feeling that.
What's your birthday, ma? Let me ask you.
don't
I'm
bring
sure
that
it's what's your birthday?
That was like
January.
right?
January.
70, January 7th.
Yeah.
January 7th.
January
7th.
7th, I will be 7th.
I'm sure there'll be a party.
Yeah.
We're gonna party.
Yeah. So thank you so much for coming on the show, ma. God bless you. We've been speaking with Princess Bridget at Datokwe Tychus. I got it this time. Yeah. And we enjoyed you. We hope you come from time to time, anytime you're free, to come chat with us, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So
Thank
we
you.
can bring more women
Yes, amazing.
out of their cocoon.
Amazing. That's all we can take on the show today. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye now.